run it to make sure that everything's working like it did last year. Yeah.
You might have to freeze up some, of course, it's a good idea to check it out before you really need to have it done. I haven't watered my lawn yet, but it's starting to green up. But I wanted to get that first fertilizer on there first. That's the important thing. Get that step one on there first before you start watering. Let it sit for a couple of days. It has a chemical in it that stops this crabgrass growth. And the seeds of crabgrass, what they say is it kind of puts a film or something over these crabgrass seeds that stops them from germinating. I don't know the ins and outs of that, but it works. So it's a good idea to get that fertilizer down before you start watering and cutting, to give your grass a real push at the first.
Can I ask a question about fertilizer?
Yeah.
Okay, you said you do the 4th step.
Yes.
Do you do like step 1 more than one time, or do you do each of them just one time, so it's just 4 times a year that you fertilize?
As I was going through this, there's a certain time during the year that you use each one of those steps. And I'll give you an outline.
Okay,
Sort of
okay.
title it.
But it's just once for each step?
There's one for each
Okay.
step. Yep, it sure is. Any other questions on watering? Okay. Now the next thing is mowing. I mow my lawn once a week, on the same day, same time. I'm kind of a regimented guy. I do everything according to regimen. And I mow my lawn in the morning. I think it's better to mow it in the morning when it's cooler, because grass is really alive. And when you cut grass, it causes stress. And it's just like somebody hit you in the arm, and it causes stress on you, or you're cutting off your hand or something. But this grass is alive. And so you have to kind of treat it, baby it, and it works out better. So I cut it once a week, same time, same day, and in the morning, and I catch my grass. Now, a lot of people like to say, well, I don't catch my grass, I use it as fertilizer, and just leave it on the grass. But if you've got a good growing grass with the proper fertilization, it's just going to stack up. There's no way it's going to settle into that grass. On the average, during the summer, I'll get 6 bags, those 50-pound or 50-gallon bags. I get 6 of those full of grass. So if I left that on the grass, I'd be knee-deep in grass. So you just don't. They have the mowers that mulch the grass, but still it builds up. And it's called thatch once it dries out. And yes, it does fertilize the lawn a little bit, but I don't think it's worth it. And plus, then you have to have it thatched and plugged every year if you do that, because it just puts a barrier between the grass and the soil, and the water just doesn't sink in. Okay, on the mowing, I set my mower to leave the grass 3 inches long. And it says I was looking on the internet today, it said you shouldn't cut off more than 1/3 of the length of the grass, because then it causes too much stress. But with 3 inches over a week, I'll cut off probably about 1 inch. So that's puts me in the range there. Fortunately, I have a neighbor that's got a big lot, and he takes my grass clippings and puts it in mulch in his backyard, or in his, what do they call it? Compost pile. Now, I use some of mine in my garden, especially in the fall. The last time I mow my grass, I'll take those clippings and spread it out in my garden after I pulled all the plants and everything. And then I till the grass in. Just a little extra fertilizer for the garden. So I prefer to catch that. And leaving the grass 3 inches then allows it to shade underneath it, so it keeps it more moist and requires less water. A lot of people think, well, I want to look like a golf course, so they'll cut their grass really short. No, it shouldn't do that. It's all right for golf courses, but not their lawns. You can, if your lawn is 3 inches will still look really great. Okay, any questions on as far as cutting your grass is concerned? Now, in addition to cutting it, I edge my grass every week. I have a power edger, and I have a blower, and a vacuum, so I clean it all up. So there isn't a lot of grass laying around or in the gutters and so forth. So I think it's important, if you're going to have a nice lawn, you might as well have a nice yard, as far as its looks is concerned. So keep your sidewalks clean, your gutters, and whatever. It's kind of funny, after my accident, I came home and I wasn't able to do too much, but I was in such a habit of keeping my yard clean. I'd go outside in my pajamas and go around and pick up leaves and so forth. We had several fruit trees in our backyard, and Sharon's uncle from Washington used to get a big kick out of that when he come and visit us. I was out there in my pajamas picking up leaves. So I'm a fanatic about that. A couple more things and I'll quit. But if you have to replace grass, if for some reason the grass dies because of a dry spot or something, a lot of people say, well, just reseed it. It doesn't work that well. What I recommend, or what I do, is I cut the dead part out, a couple inches down into the soil, and remove it, and I go buy some sod. You can buy sod at Lowe's or Home Depot or any garden center, or the sod companies. You buy just one piece of sod, and you replace it with that. And there is a secret to putting sod down, at least for me, is that once you've got the area cleaned up and ready for your sod, you should wet that area down quite a bit, just before it's muddy. And then take the piece of sod and cut it a little bit larger than the area that you're going to put it in. And then soak the bottom of that sod really heavy with water also. And then put the sod in there, curl the edges as you put it in, and then level it out so that the grass that's there and the sod have a good connection. So they're a tight connection. And then soak that really a lot with your hand watering, and then step on it, so that you'll mesh the roots into the soil. And if you do it that way, within a few days, you don't even know you put a piece of sod in there. So it works out really well. Let's see. That's it. So that covers the fertilization, the cutting, the weed control, and replacement. Is there any other questions on those items? Yes.
I've got a question on how often should you aerate?
I've never been a big fan of irrigation and thatching. But I would say if you follow what I do, maybe every 3 or 4 years. You know, people that come around and try to sell you to do it every year. It doesn't need to be done every year. If you catch your grass, if you're religious about catching your grass, you don't need that done. You can tell when you need it done just by reaching down and trying to get down to the soil. If it's really hard to get down to the soil, then you need a thatch. As far as the plugging is concerned, that just helps the water get down in. And if you don't have a lot of thatch, the water goes down anyway. And if your root system is really thick, you don't need that much either. So I did that last year, and I probably won't do it for another 2 or 3 years.
I think it also has a lot to do with the soil that you planted your grass on. If you brought in other soil, depending on the quality of that, you may need to, if it's clay, like we're like to have out here, then you test it, like you said, try to poke a bar or rod or something down into your lawn. If it's pretty impermeable, then you may want to do it a little more often. But yeah, once you've got it established, your lawn should be able to, if you have a good root system, like you said,
I recommend 46 inches of